So let's see how to set up a retargeting audience so we can always have an offer front and center with your hottest leads and prospects. Generally speaking, most local businesses are going to be able to reach and retarget their local community using the Meta platform, so Facebook and Instagram. When you get into your Meta Business Suite, you'll see I'm in my Meta Business Suite here. I'll put a link below the video so you can access yours. You want to come down to this All Tools section, and what we're going to do is create an audience of our hottest prospects, existing customers, website visitors, so we can retarget them with our monthly promotions that we might run. So we're always giving someone incentive to reach out to the business, whether that's calling, putting in their details, sending a message, whatever it is. So if you click on this audiences option, you'll go to a page that looks something like this, and over here on the left, again, you want to choose the audiences tab. Once you've done that, you're going to get to a section that looks like this. And what we're going to do is use this blue button to create a series of audiences so we can combine them all together: website visitors, anyone that's engaged with our content, anyone that follows us, anyone that's existing customer, and have our hottest audience front and center at all times. So if we click this create audience button and go custom audience, the first one you might want to create is your customer list. So if you click on that and go next, it'll guide you through the steps. So what you want to do is get to this part here, and you can upload a CSV file of all the emails, phone numbers of anyone that's either a lead in your database or anyone that's an existing customer. So you might want to separate that depending on who you want to target, and you'll sync it with Meta, and then this will go into your audience for retargeting. So you can go through that steps if you have an existing database. The next one that you might also want to do is if you have a website set up, you can retarget anyone that's visited your website if you set this up with Meta. If you're not sure how to set this up, just go to YouTube and it'll show you how to set up this tracking so you can have anyone that visits your site in a retargeting audience. Or if you've got a developer, just ask them if they can go ahead and set this up. So you'll go choose the website option, and then you want to pick the right website. So let's say it was my content only website. All website visitors 180 days is how I usually have this setting. And I will call it website traffic content only as an example, and create that audience, and or click done. So that's my website traffic audience populating. The next audience I'm going to create is a custom audience for anyone that follows the business on social media on both Instagram and Facebook. So we come over here to meta sources and we click on Instagram account, go to next. And let's say it's my account here that we want to target. You can just go through the list and pick the right account. Everyone who follows the account is the first option here. So this is anyone that's followed, unfollowed, etc., started following. And I can name this IG followers, whatever your business name is, and click create audience. So now we can start retargeting and be front and center with everyone that's already following us, so they know who we are. We've got a familiar audience. We can do the same thing with Facebook. So you click custom audience, Facebook page, go to next. Make sure we pick the right one. I'll just choose my Aaron Whitnish page as an example. And again, we choose the follower option and we'll call it FB followers. Click create audience. And again, we click done, and we're actually going to combine all these audiences together in a moment. The next thing we want to do is anyone that's engaged or interacted with our content. We go to create audience, custom audience. We go to Instagram, set that up, and you'll see I've got my account. Everyone who is engaged with this professional account, leave that as is, and 365 days. And I'm going to call this IG engagement and hit create audience again. Click done, and then finally we'll do this step for Facebook as well. Facebook page, next. Everyone who's engaged with your page, and we'll call it, I always recommend leaving it at 365 days. So you capture the biggest retargeting audience possible. So click create audience. So now what we want to do is we want to create a saved audience where we combine your engagement on all your content, your followers, and your website traffic, and anyone that was in your customer database together. So if we go create audience, go to saved audience, and what you would name it is retargeting. Now again, for a local business, you may want to specify the location if people need to come into the business in order to get the service. I'm just going to leave this as is now because I'm assuming if I've been doing my circulation right and following the previous steps in the process, that the majority of the audience will be in that category, especially if we've been boosting posts using the call out locations and local hashtags. I'm going to leave pretty much everything else as is. And when I come down here, what I'm going to do is start adding all my custom audiences. So what we just created was our Facebook engagement. So we're going to add that in. We're going to add in our Instagram engagement. So I'm just clicking them from the list here. Facebook followers, Instagram followers, website traffic. And then I've also got my database in here as well, which I can add in. And what I've done now is I've combined all those different audiences that are familiar, have trust transference from customers in my database through to website visitors to people following and engaging with the business into one audience. And then I click create saved audience. And you'll see my retargeting audience is sitting here. It's now ready to go. If I click on my retargeting audience, I can go to these three little dots and click create ad. And now I can set up a monthly promotion or any offer that I want to circulate to this audience 24/7. So I'm front and center with my hottest prospects, my hottest customers, my hottest leads. And I can do this on a very low budget because it's going to be a relatively small audience when we're starting out. It's going to grow over time as we reach more and more people in the community through our content strategy. So if I click create ad, we go to the next steps in the process. So I'll walk you through setting up your retargeting promotion to everyone that already knows and trusts you. So your hottest audience when it comes to getting people to buy from your business. So every business is going to have different offers, different solutions. So I'll just walk through the setup so you know the basics. So first things first, you want to make sure you choose the right outcome. Meta is really, really good at helping you achieve the result you want. So are you trying to sell something directly? If that's the case, you would choose sales. If you're looking to generate leads, so people messaging you, calling the business, opting in, filling out a form, you might choose leads. If you just want to send them somewhere specifically, you might choose traffic, or if you want them to put their hand up and maybe comment on an offer or post, you might choose engagement. So you make sure you choose the objective that you're after with this retargeting campaign. Generally speaking, for retargeting, your audience is going to be quite small and it'll grow as you put more and more content out there and circulate it to more and more people in the community. So most of the budgets I set are $2 to $3 a day to circulate this offer to those people that are in that retargeting category. So once you've make sure you check that budget, because Facebook will automatically set a budget for you. So it's very important that you keep your eye on that and make sure it's a daily budget as well, or however you want to set that up. You can go to next at this point. Choosing the right conversion is really, really important. So how do you want the leads or sales to come through? So do you want them to send you a message, which can be a really simple setup to get started where you don't need external websites and moving parts. It could be to call your business, to take up the offer, call your office, call your location to take it up and have inbound calls coming in. It could be to fill out a form so you collect some details from them and you follow them up and contact them. So however you want to receive the leads or the sales, you tell Meta which one you want. And then make sure you choose the correct page. I'll just leave it as content only for this example. And then down here is where we want to find our retargeting audience. So you'll see use saved audience, and your retargeting audience should come up in this list. So I'll just grab this example. And again, just check it and make sure that if you want to fix the location as an example, that you come in here and the location you're happy with, and then you can always update it if you want to make some changes. But you can see all the retargeting audiences that we added in the previous step in the example. And then if you're not proficient with advertising setups at this point in time, it's okay to leave placements and things as is. So if I click next, then you're going to go through and set up. So make sure it's connected to the right page for your account where you want, if you're getting messages coming through or calls to the business, that it's actually your business page. Then what you'll do is go through and set up your ad creative. So a few tips on this. When you're using an ad, what's going to work best when you're retargeting is usually you smiling at the camera in a photo is the easiest way to get started. So it could be you at the business. Now, the reason why this works is we've been circulating all that content. So they've been seeing your face in videos. They've either been following the account, they're an existing customer in your database. So the easiest way to get their attention is seeing that friendly, smiling face where that trust and goodwill has already been established in the ad. and then you'll go ahead and write out the offer. So you go to set up your ad creative. So you'll go image, ad usually. You write your ad copy. So again, you want to call out your local community and who your target clients are. So in Deb's case, Tamworth ladies, and then go into the offer. What have you got for them this month? What's the special treatment? Is it a package that you've put together? Is it a promotion because it's a seasonal part of the year? Whatever it is, and be quite direct, because with this audience, they already know you. So we're being more along the lines of selling them something than if someone didn't know us in a cold audience. So write out your offer. Generally, you'll have a headline that's calling out your target audience, what the offer is, what they get. So it could be 3 or 4 bullet points about what they get, what they need to do. So is it send you a message, call the business, fill out the form underneath. And that's a really simple structure for writing an ad copy and putting it together. And what you can do is also look at ads that get your attention in your feed, look at how they've written them, how they've set them up, and you can model and structure your ads that way. So again, the headline's really, really important. I would draw attention to what they get. What is it? What is the offer? And put that in the headline. And you might do a few different variations. So usually I'll do a couple of text variations to test different copy. So I might have 2 different primary texts where I write out headline, what they get, and what to do, and then 3 different headlines where I test different angles for the offer. So then the call to action button is really, really important. So you've already told Facebook by this point what your goal is. So if you said you want them to call the business, that will already be established. But if you want them to send a message, you can actually have the button in alignment with the offer. So if you want to send a message to book for something, you can choose book now. If you wanted them to order something, you can have the order now. So try and choose the button that's most relevant for the action that you want them to take and what they're getting in the offer. And then once you've done all that, you hit next. Then depending on your setup, will depend if you need to do anything else here. But by this stage, usually your ad's ready to go, and you can preview it over here on the right, what it looks like, make sure everything's in order, and then you hit publish, and then your ad will go into review. And assuming you've met the guidelines of Facebook, usually within an hour or 2, the ad is live, and you'll be retargeting your hottest leads, hottest customers, hottest prospects, everyone that's been engaging with your content 24/7 on Meta, on Facebook and Instagram. Again, if this is something that you want some personalized support with, it's not something that you want to do, and there's always a done for you solution if you just want to focus on running the business and you don't want to worry too much about all these other things going on in the background.